Hello YouTube fam, how y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. But today we're going to rant and we're going to talk about what collecting really is. Collecting is an addiction. Sometimes it can be considered hoarding, but we're not going to talk about the hoarding aspect of this today. We're going to just talk about the collecting part. It's an addiction. When you're online hunting or out in the wild hunting in the brick and mortar stores, it's like the dopamine rush goes off actually going looking. And when you actually find something, all the neurons in your head just explode. It's just like they're going off and you get this instant high, this instant feel of gratification because you're actually finding things and you're feeling, a rush. And that's what collecting is. It's a rush. I don't know after getting the actual toy. In most cases with most collectors, they just sit there. But the feel of unboxing or getting them or going to the post office and picking all this stuff up, it's a rush. And I had to come to, a realization about that my damn self. I had to come to a realization that most of this is true about a lot of us. It's like an overwhelming feel, a need to get something. And this is why, in most cases with collecting, it turns into hoarding. Because we have that need, that feel that we want more. And see, the thing is, I done seen somebody whole living room, whole house, basically be video games. I mean, and it's crazy as hell to me because I'm like, yeah, you got to know when to stop. You got to know when to cut this shit off. At the end of the day, if I needed to get away from this, I just walk away from all of it. It is what it is. Some people are addicted to this plastic. They're addicted to, opening in the box, smelling it, and they look at the toy, they inspect it, they look at all the pieces, they label each little baggy Ziploc bag that each item comes from which toy, what series line is from. Brother, I'm not doing all that. I throw all this shit in a bag and throw it. Dude, I have no idea what goes with what, and I don't care. This is how I collect. This is how I'm unable to not be tied to this stuff. I actually like my collection. I actually put up more figures, in this, but I look. And if you see the samurais back there, you see Atom Smasher, you see the Atom in here somewhere, along with the other guy. I got him in there somewhere, in Constantine. It's just fam. I'm looking at it. At the end of the day, this is just plastic. And this is why we feel so let down when we can't find it. It's just all of a sudden, it's like, man, you can't find that next hit. And that's, to be honest, that's what this feels like. This is why I got to pull myself back from this every now and then. And, to be realistic, that's what this actually feels like. It feels damn near like drugs. It's an addiction. And a lot of us are addicted to it. There are not groups that I know of for this. It's just groups if you want to be part of like an action figure group or Funko Pop group, Jordan group. Man, there need to be groups for this shit because it's real. One thing I don't get is a lot of people make hobbies sound like, oh, they're just for kids. Because one thing about kids can differentiate, they look for it, but after a while, they have this thing called attention span. And with that attention span, they can go from here to over there because they don't have one. But we have attention spans and see, we can focus on stuff and we be sitting there. Why do you think people be going after those games so hard? Those video games, you look at them and you see, they get let down. They be all in line. Pokemon cards, they're all in line. A lot of these people are not selling this stuff. A lot of these people are collecting it. And when they don't find certain cards, they lose their damn mind. They go crazy. They angry. They cussing because they want that next hit of dopamine. Fam, you know what? That shit really, really drives you crazy because you want that next hit. And honestly, man, I was looking at it. I realized at one point I did have a problem with this, and that's when I started saying I had to calm this shit down some. Is when I was looking for certain Funko Pops and they didn't have them. I was getting really upset. I was like angry. I was going around from store to store, because people said they had seen them. And fam, I was like, wait, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing? And that's when I had to stop myself and said, hell. This is when you got to back up. When your hobby is taking a lot of time away from your family, your friends, your work, you need to back that shit up. I'm serious. You need to back up. I said this new year, I'm going to be real. We will talk about the hobby, and I'm talking about the hobby. We're going to talk about everything relating with the hobby, and this relates right to the hobby because a lot of us don't know when to stop. A lot of us don't know when to stop spending money. That's an addiction. It's a shopping addiction. Whether it's not just, something called Action Figure Anonymous, no, but it's a shopping addiction. And I see a lot of people that just don't stop. I had to catch myself because I said, man, I was finding stuff so hard at one point in time that I said, damn, this is getting kind of pricey. Man, I done spent a lot of money. Where the hell is all that money going? Then I realized what I was spending it on. I said, man, look, this got to stop. Now, I've been talking to a lot of people about the pre-orders and telling them that pre-orders are either good or bad, either way you look at it. You got the thing in your cart and you feeling happy instantly because, again, that next hit of dopamine done released and you on a high. Whether it come out today or tomorrow, you said, look, I'm still going to get this. They already took the money off my card. I'm good. But fam, see, that's the thing. That instant gratification. But what happens when you actually get the figure? I see half of the shit in most people collections boxed up. And I mean, they have the room to display the stuff. It's just boxed up. I said, dude, why is your stuff boxed up? He was like, oh man, I got it already. I'm like, huh? I'm like, you did all that to get it and you're not displaying it? Oh man, I'm not really into it like that. I just like getting the stuff. And when you get it, it becomes part of your collection. See, fam, that's the thing. This is why I said you need to have some sort of connection with your pieces. Because otherwise, that's what that is. That's just you buying shit. That's just you spending money on something. That's just you having an addiction with something and don't know how to deal with it. This is why I said, hell, if you don't have a connection with certain pieces, don't buy them. Leave them for the next person. Because honestly, you'll sit there and just buy shit that you don't want. And fam, I have been one of those people that bought a lot of shit I don't want. I got a lot of Batmans that I'm sitting here trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with. I got a lot of other action figures down there that I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with. From the DC Multiverse, from G.I. Joe, from Masters of the Universe, from Power Rangers, fam. Because one thing about the G.I. Joe classified figures, the good guys, they're all in some specialized outfit, man, and that shit don't work well color scheme together. Or if you got them sitting on a high enough shelf, you can't really see them. So, a lot of that shit really bites the dust. So you really don't really get a good chance to check that out. This is what I'm talking about. You gotta have your situation to make sense. Now, I thought about how I could display things and make situations look better. I thought, man, I could do this one simple way. I was going to change this up. I was going to put all the Terradromes across the top. It's 3 of them. I'm going to put all 3 across the top, right? I said I run the G.I. Joes across the next shelf, which is this one right here. They got the Marvel Legends up here on it. I said I'm going to run it all the way across and put G.I. Joes, good guys, bad guys going across. That way they be close to the top. And I thought about that. I said, damn. It all sounds good until you got to take all this shit apart. And you got to move all this shit. This is why I say a lot of us collectors, we are good in certain areas, but not all. You know, like I said, once we get it, once we put it up, we done with it. But with me, every now and then I change all the shit up because it needs to be. I don't like looking at the same thing over and over all the time when it comes down to things I'm collecting. That's just real, fam. I want a lot of you all to realize that, you know, I'm not just trying to come out here and, oh, it's an addiction. Y'all need to quit. And this is getting out of hand. You know, it's like almost like a shopping addiction. You know, for most people, I realized when I was getting a lot of stuff, you know, I used to go to the post office. I used to get those big ass baskets, you know, that you had to get from the post office and get all the stuff that I got. And they'd be like, damn, what is it that you do? What do you got coming, family? Like I said, sometimes I will hold my mail and just pick it all up at once because if I leave the state or the country, you know, my stuff is sitting there. So when I come back, man, you see so many damn boxes, you like, damn, like what is really going on? And that's when I understood one thing, fam. I had a problem. I just had a problem buying shit. So I slowed the roll on that. I slowed it down. I made it slow down real hard. Because at one point, man, I had like everything I could think of. And I was like, man, I really don't want to do anything else. It was like looking for the next high. So each thing that I got into was like I was looking for that next hit. Man, and that's what I realized, shit. I had to slow it down and look at it for what it was. This can become an addiction real quick. So to a lot of you all that are investing crazy amount of money into this, slow it down. Slow it completely down. Because see, a lot of us like hunting out in the wild in brick and mortar stores because you get that instant rush. You get that instant hit of gratification, that dopamine, it hits. And I know y'all like, why you keep talking about dopamine? That's what your brain creates when, you know, you happy. You know, that's that hit. It's almost like drugs, fam. You know, like I said, hell, it's also produced in large amounts when people cheat. So, so if you want that, it's either way you go. So I just want to say this, man. Look, keep doing what you're doing. But this year is going to be different. So I want to tell y'all to, you know, really watch your money and what you spend it on. I don't know how different, but I notice everything is changing around all of us. So keep that in mind. This addiction can quickly spiral completely out of control. I done seen people lose their shirts collecting. I done seen people lose their shirt collecting action figures, gym shoes, clothes, purses, heels, Funko Pops. I already said, I think action figures, video games, gold, jewelry, cologne. Man, I seen people go broke buying shit because they always wanted the next. And this is why I say you got to slow it down. And you got to make sure that you have connections with the pieces you buy. Otherwise, you're just spending large sums of money on things you don't like. But to later, fam, thank you so much for watching. Peace out.